Hello! Today I'm going to talk about North Node in Virgo in Western astrology and Rahu in Leo in Vedic astrology. If you have your North Node until 23 degree of Virgo, you will have a Leo North Node in the Vedic chart. So let's start with Virgo, North Node in Virgo and South Node in Pisces. So first you have the South Node in Pisces. That's what you came into the world. This is the energy you came into. A South Node in Pisces, of course I can take on many variations here. Pisces rules dissolvement. Pisces rules dissolving boundaries. Pisces is a bit of a chaotic energy, but it's also a quiet energy. So in their youth, this person was probably a bit. They might have been a loner. Pisces can often be a bit of a lonely energy, somebody who feels like a bit different. They might have been oversensitive. They would be very sensitive. It can be a very intuitive combination with this Pisces South Node. And there's a couple variations typical variations that it can take on. Pisces in youth could be a person who experiments with drugs early on. Pisces it can be alcohol or anything sedative. Pisces energy is not so much uppers, but there can be a drug problem early in life. The person gets lost. They already feel lost. They actually come into this world feeling lost a bit. Pisces is a very otherworldly energy. So basically the person might feel lost in this mundane world. But the other variation is because we do have this Virgo here. The person is very sober. They don't do anything. They don't smoke or drink or whatever. And then we have somebody who's probably who's rather introverted, or at least they will keep to themselves more. They will like it quiet. They might be into music. Pisces also rules music early in life. They will retrieve into themselves. In some cases, this might be somebody with Asperger's or something related, because Pisces Virgo does rule health, also mental health. So there could be mental health issues or other health issues that the person has to deal with throughout their life. Pisces would be like mystery illnesses. If the person gets ill in their younger years with this Pisces, it was something mysterious. Some kind of mystery illness that's not you cannot really diagnose it very well. Something like that. Not everybody would be ill. Not everybody is it. It's not for everybody about health. You really have to look at other parts in the chart. Here you really have to look at other things. The point is with Pisces South Node, the person is in this very dreamy, meditative state. They're very intuitive. They're oversensitive in their younger years, and their life is not very structured. Not yet. The North Node in Virgo means they're here to learn structure. They're here to learn becoming organized as a person. And Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So as this person gets older, the latest past 35 or 30, this will start earlier, because Mercury is also a very young energy. So this will probably begin a bit earlier. The person will learn, maybe early in life they were a bit disorganized, or in their own little dreamy world. They were in their isolated little world. They were a bit of a loner, possibly, and then eventually in life they're kind of thrown into this mundane world where they have to fulfill duties on time. So one typical variation here could be, so this does affect very often work and career, because Virgo is also the sixth house, right? Also, if you have this combination in the sixth house, your north node in the sixth house, it applies here too. You know, you're here to learn service to others, and in a way that is very structured. You will have a job. You'll either be an employee. This would be a typical combination where eventually you become an employee. Very stable position. You have to get up every morning at the same time. You have to be at work 9 to 5. You know, it can be that kind of thing. Through such an experience, you learn structure, and you learn to be more present in the mundane world. So it's this combination. It should not be misinterpreted as in the person needs to let go of spirituality, you know, but they will have to let go of always wanting to be left alone. You know, this combination is not. This person is probably not going to become. They will not join a monastery. You know, maybe they try, but it's not going to work out. They won't be accepted. I don't know. You're here to learn the Virgo energy. That means you might have a stable job. Very likely you'll have to get up every morning. You have to do things like accounting for somebody. You could be married. If it's you know, if you're married to a person and you're maybe a housewife, you will end up doing all the finances, the accounting. You will do all these sixth house oriented things, you know, daily routine. You have to pay the bills. You're the ones who will have to pay the bills. You're the person who you'll be spending more time on the telephone with Virgo North Node. You know, you're the one who has to make phone calls and stuff like that. People call you all the time, and you're like, please leave me alone. You know, but it's on purpose. You know, there is a purpose to that, and you might feel like I don't have time to go back and meditate. You know, I want to be more spiritual or whatever. I feel more comfortable in my spiritual isolated zone. You know, maybe burning some incense and whatever, crystal work. And you could make a job, you could make a career out of that. So lots of people who have this North Node in Virgo, Pisces, South Node, or North Node in the 6th house, the 6th, 12th house axis. So you see that a lot in people who are in healing professions and people who are working in alternative healing, you know, especially because the person has this very intuitive nature and possibly healing abilities. But let's not forget, Pisces is ruled by 2 fish, right? But the image, the symbol of Pisces is 1 fish swimming upwards and another fish swimming downwards. So Pisces is a very dualistic sign. Pisces can also be very extreme with the energy. It can be extremely negative. You know, Pisces, it's not all altruistic, fine and dandy, nice energy. Pisces can also, a person with Pisces on their south node, they could also have been the victim. Pisces also rules sacrifice, overstepping boundaries, so there could be sexual abuse or some form of really mental abuse, you know, like very strange secrets. Person grew up maybe being tormented by secrets in the family, not knowing something. Pisces can be concealing the truth, you know, concealing stuff. Like I say, the person is here to embrace this Virgo archetype. Virgo rules categorization of information, actually. Gemini is actually communicating information, but Virgo specifically, the Virgo Mercury aspect is about categorizing information, and doing things in an organized way. Virgo is very often the accountant, the bookkeeper, or a person working in service. You could also, with this combination, of course, some people might have employees. If you're a shop owner, if you're a business owner, and you have this, you would have to employ others, So you could also be in the position of being the one who has to employ other people. Maybe you even work in human resources, stuff like that. So there's going to be this sixth house element, and basically for you it means you have to communicate about daily tasks, about very unemotional tasks, things that need to be done. This bill needs to be paid. We need to set up internet, whatever. We need the garbage collection on time, whatever. That's very Virgo-like. And it can be quite annoying. A person can be quite annoyed. They have to do all these things. Depending on other aspects in the chart, it can be annoying for the person because they're not used to it. They're used to being in this Pisces energy in their youth, And if it is a person who started out having drug problems early in life, this is about getting sober. They have to embrace this Virgo energy, and they really have to clean up their act. There's really this, they will be pushed towards that. These people cannot hold on to they will not be able to hold on to their Pisces lifestyle of not having boundaries, not being on time anywhere or whatever. So in this case, if it involves some form of drug addiction, even opioids, could be are Neptunian. The person really is here to sober up their life and to live healthy. They have to really integrate health, the health aspect, and developing discipline, being able to say no to things, being able to rationalize whatever is available to you, make rations, not to eat everything at once, not consume everything at once. Virgo they might have to go on a strict diet, something like that. The person has to learn self-discipline, a lot of self-discipline with this one. But it's also very heavy on communication. And the person was most likely more quiet in their younger years. They are not. This is a rather quiet combination, This is not so much out there, unless we have other factors, depending on the houses. Because Pisces can be anything, It can also be glamorous. It can also be the movie star or whatever. So Pisces can be is very diverse here. But it's always about some illusion, right? It's always about escapism. Pisces rules escapism and sacrifice just as much. So something had to be sacrificed in this person's life, and that's the energy they come in with. They are willing to sacrifice. This is a very altruistic. This can be a very altruistic combination if the person is willing to develop discipline and is willing to communicate rationally, Now we also have, at least for people who have until 23 degrees of Virgo, we also have a Leo Rahu and an Aquarius Ketu here. So Leo and Virgo seems a bit contradictory as energies, right? I guess in a way it is. Leo is very confident. Virgo is very modest. Virgo is service oriented and very rational, very earthy. And Leo is a fire sign. Leo is the leader. Leo is a leadership sign. And with this, the south node here is an Aquarius. So also here with this combination, this can be, if the person does not let go of these Aquarian traits, that they need to let go of the over-identification with Aquarius, they can develop health problems, and it's usually it's a nervous system. They can have a very sensitive energy body, in other words. This person is very sensitive in their energy body, and part of the stress would be found in the over-identification of the Aquarian South Node, and that rules being part of society, doing, being a member of society, being one of many people, and not to stand out, not wanting to stand out. This person does not want to stand out very much, but they might have to. And with the Leo Rahu, they will have opportunity. It might even be their shadow. Here Rahu can really work as a shadow. The person they will become more dominant as they realize early in life. There's much more leadership. There's also leadership quality in the person. The one who is organized is the one who knows what's going on. Plus, there's also the Leo quality of heart chakra. So the person has to learn to be organized, self-disciplined, but they also have to learn to live from their heart and to integrate their subjective self. So the nervous ailment, the nervous problem will come from the person being worried too much about what other people are thinking, being worried too much about others, other people who are not even part of the family, perhaps. So here, this can be very family oriented. If the person has children, later in life, they will get closer to their children. They will spend more time with their children as they grow older. So this is very positive for parents. Your child will like you, most likely. They will spend more time with you. It's not even about that. They might not even like you, but somehow you spend more time with them. Somehow fate works out with this combination. Leo on the North Node. The person becomes warmer as they grow older. They have the opportunity to become a warmer person, but they do have to let go of this Aquarian, of the concern of the Aquarian South Node to be too much part of society. What are other people thinking about me? Stuff like that. They do have to embrace this warm Leo energy and perhaps being in the spotlight on occasion, taking the leadership role. Being able to say no. These people do have to learn to say no in a rational way. This doesn't have to be dramatic, but depending on other aspects, this can be dramatic. This can very well be dramatic, because we're dealing with very, very unpredictable energies. The Pisces can be very unpredictable, and don't think that Pisces is always peaceful. Pisces can also be very passive aggressive. So if the person has a problem with passive aggressiveness, here the Leo North Node will give them opportunity to step into it, and to integrate the shadow and be more assertive. So for these people, they will become more assertive later in life. They have to become more assertive, and they should not be surprised if there's more. If their life becomes very structured. Like I say, they're the ones who have to organize everything. They're the ones who have to communicate with everybody to get stuff done. That can be within the family, or they can be on the job. It can be both. It's very duty-oriented, this combination. Although later on in life, with this Leo North Node, there's also fun and play. There'll be more times for fun and play. If the person doesn't have children themselves, they will have opportunity to express themselves. They might become a writer. This could also be an author combination, by the way. A person who wants to express themselves through writing, maybe even writing lyrics, because they might have had some musical training, when they were young, you know, or something artistic. Pisces can be very artistic here, but it's more music, because music is not tangible. So it can be very talented. This can be a very talented combination. And if there is, you know, if you do have these talents, you need to learn to become disciplined with the Virgo energy to really express yourself. So of course, if you have this, anytime you have this Leo North Node, here you really have to look at the person's sun in the horoscope. You know, what is the sun, where exactly is it located? Here it would be particularly important. So, and if you don't, you know, if you only have this North Node combination in Virgo, so past 23 degrees, so you have only Virgo and South Node Pisces, so they'll be very focused. That's a very dutiful combination, you know, so you don't have this Leo here. You don't have this Leo energy. This is very focused. Anytime you have these combinations where it's only this and you don't have, it's not in the sidereal, something different, these North Node combinations are more focused on a certain dharma that needs to be fulfilled. And here it's very mundane. This is a very mundane dharma, although you start out with these spiritual gifts, you know, but you have to make it concrete. You have to implement the mundane part. If you do follow a career with in healing professions or anything spiritual, anything Neptune related, you better get organized. You know, you better get up every morning at 6 or whatever. You will have to do that, and don't be shy to communicate with people. You will have to. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comment section what you think. This is applied to you. And of course, it's the same for 6th house, 12th house. Virgo is the 6th house. You have your North Node in the 6th house and the South Node in the 12th house. All of that applies to you as well. Take care.